Hello, I'm Heather.
And I'm Ryan.
Welcome to the podcast. It's game night, it's sibling rivalry, it's a walk down memory lane, but most importantly, it's politics free.
Guaranteed.
Welcome to round 2 of Your Worst Nightmare.
Your worst nightmare.
Here's how it works. We have a set of cards. On each one is written a nightmare. We'll pick 4 cards, and Ryan will have to place them in the correct order according to what he thinks my worst nightmare is. Then we'll flip it around, and it'll be my turn. Whoever scores the most points wins the ever-coveted Gloating Rights Trophy.
Until we meet again.
Oh my God. Until we play again.
Until we play again.
Excellent. Ryan, are you ready?
Yes.
Here is the first set. Halloween, heights, balloons, shipwrecks.
Okay. And here is the order I figure for you. Going from lowest fear to highest fear.
Excellent.
Balloons.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Shipwrecks.
Mm-hmm.
And heights.
Not bad. You got balloons and Halloween in the correct sequence, but I actually put shipwrecks as my number 1 and heights as my number 2.
You know, but like for me, like heights is not a big deal. Like I work from heights all the time, and I don't know anything about shipwrecks.
I was looking at it from the standpoint of death, where I thought I might drown in a shipwreck. But then it also depends how high the height is. So, for instance, if I'm in an airplane, I'm actually not afraid of being that high. I feel fine. But if my airplane starts to plummet in a crash, now I'm very afraid of heights.
True.
Then I suddenly realized maybe I have a better chance of surviving a shipwreck, maybe, than a plane crash.
Probably.
So maybe heights should be my number 1, but just to think of it in my mind, like what scares me more,
but
shipwrecks scare me more than heights.
Here's the other thing, the way that I look at it, right? If I were to die from falling, I more than likely would have a quick death.
Okay.
If I'm dying by drowning, it's going to be a slow, agonizing death.
You know what? I stand by my first sequence. Thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
Hit me with my first set.
Hit me with your best shot. Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So, the ocean, basements, public embarrassment, and birds.
Mm-hmm. Here's how I'm going to go. For you, I feel like public embarrassment is going to be in the number 4 spot.
Like the worst?
No, the least nightmarish.
The least nightmarish, okay.
Yeah, that's how I feel, because you just don't seem to embarrass easily from my knowing you. So it's not that you haven't done things that are completely embarrassing. It's just...
Continue.
You don't seem that easily embarrassed. I then put birds in the number 3 spot.
Uh-huh.
The ocean in the number 2 spot, and basements in the number 1 spot.
Fucking basements is number 1? Are you fucking kidding me?
Listen, when we played the last round in the last episode, I thought I nailed it, and I got it all wrong. So I just decided to do the opposite of my intuition on this one. Obviously, I failed. Why don't you tell me how wrong I was, Ryan?
I'm sorry, Heather. Okay, so my number 4 spot was birds. My number 2 spot was basements. Number 3 was public embarrassment. Number 4 was the ocean. I mean, number 1. So going from least worst to worst. So it goes birds, least worst, basement, public embarrassment, the worst being the ocean.
Okay, well, so far, Ryan 2, Heather 0. You know why? You know why? Because basements equals serial killers. which maybe is more concerning for me than you because serial killers typically target women. But whatever.
You put birds as number 3, though. And I like to watch birds.
Nobody else thinks it's funny. You're the only one laughing. You're the only one laughing. I forgot that you like bird watching. It's a habit you've picked up since the last time I saw you, and you only told me about it once.
That is hilarious. I'm sorry. Whew. Anyway.
You know, I was driving along, and out of nowhere, this massive bird that I still can't identify hit the windshield and bounced off. It came from the ground up to the windshield and bounced off. And it was terrifying. And as I saw it coming, I thought I need to swerve, but there was a car coming the opposite way, no shoulder, and somebody right behind me. So I was like, we're doing it. Whacked into the windshield, bounced off. I was quite frazzled, and I was like, was that a turkey? Did a turkey just jump into my windscreen?
It was trying to not die, but failed miserably.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. It was nutso. So, I don't know. I just thought big birds can dive bomb you. Owls can attack people. I don't know. I thought it was number 3. Anyways, 0 points for me. Ready for your next set of cards?
Yes.
The Apocalypse, Butterflies, Aliens, Small Spaces.
Excellent. Okay. So I do believe that butterflies being the least and small spaces being the next least.
May I just say that you express your order in a very confusing, non-sequential way?
All right. So butterflies being the least, okay? Then small spaces. Mm-hmm. And then I went for the aliens and then the apocalypse because I figured the aliens would probably bring out the apocalypse, but they might not bring about the apocalypse. So aliens would have to be the second because they could be terrifying, they could not be. And then the apocalypse. So butterflies, small spaces, aliens, the apocalypse.
You got the apocalypse and aliens in the right order, but I have my third space is butterflies followed by small spaces. I am not afraid of... I'm sitting in a tiny closet right now. Small spaces do not bother me in the least. Butterflies are gross. When they get up close, they're nasty. They got the pretty little wings, and their little bug body is icky. So they went in the number 3 spot. It was just a big toss-up for me between the apocalypse and aliens. Uh-huh. Because I think I would be completely terrified to encounter actual aliens.
Sure.
But would I live to see another day and they would wipe my memory of all the horror? Maybe that's not so bad. But the apocalypse, everything ends. And there are different levels of apocalypse. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah. I guess... but I didn't think of it your way. Because the aliens could bring the apocalypse as well. So I don't, didn't think about that. That's a good point.
Right. Yeah, they could be coming to enslave us all, or they could be coming to try and fix this planet. Or they could just be coming to study us.
I mean, if you want to read a book that goes into this very deeply, check out Alien Agenda by Jim Marrs.
His last name is Mars?
Yeah, Marrs.
Huh, interesting.
Jim Marrs. Yep. He's a conspiracy theorist kind of author. Uh-huh. And he wrote one about aliens, and it is, if you don't believe in that alien phenomenon, the UFOs, and you read his book, you're going to come out the other end still not believing in it.
Okay.
But if you want to believe, if you tend toward maybe, or you do truly believe, you will poop your pants. It's terrifying. It's a terrifying read. Anyway.
Okay.
All right, hit me with my last cards.
All right, she got snakes being talked about behind your back, sharks, and lightning.
All right. So for me, lightning, sharks, and snakes, right? These all can bring death. So I had no idea what order to put them in for you.
Uh-huh.
But I figured being talked about behind your back was the least concerning thing for you, so I put that at number 4.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. And then I'm just going to go for it. 3 snakes, 2 sharks, 1 lightning.
No.
I got them all wrong.
No, you got being talked about behind your back correct.
Mm-hmm.
I originally had snakes in that spot, which is absolutely not true because I'm absolutely terrified of snakes.
Okay.
That is actually the number 1 spot. But I went being talked about behind your back, lightning, sharks, snakes.
Okay. Well, I got 2, and you got 2. You're kicking my butt on this game.
I got 4. I got 4 total.
Right, 4
yes.
total. So your total running score is 10, and mine is 6.
And you got being talked about and sharks, right?
That's it. That's all I got for that whole thing.
Okay.
Ryan wins
well
again.
Done.
Heather sucks at this game.
Yes, she does. The worst.
Anyway,
I'm the best.
Yeah, you're super great. Anyway, moving on.
I know, thank you. I would like you to tell me that again. Tell me how great I am, Heather.
No, we're going to move on.
I get the gloating rights. You have to tell me how great I am.
No, you get the gloating rights trophy. I don't get the, supplication on my knees, groveling participation
I've won
award.
2 in a row, and I'm kicking your ass.
Yeah.
Please tell me how great I am.
You're allowed to gloat.
Tell me how great I am.
Moving on. I swear to God, we're moving on. Now listen, I keep asking for listener stories, but I decided, you know what? We're not really getting any bites on that. So I'm going to back off for a little while. I've been too insistent, too specific, and I'm asking you to tell me about things that are horrifying. So you know what? We're going to take a step back for a few episodes from that. I will still say, hey, if you want to share a story inspired by any of the cards in the game, go to our website, thepoliticsfreepodcast.com. Scroll on down. There's links to our voicemail service and email, or you can pop over to Instagram at thepoliticsfreepodcast. And I have a bunch of posts up there where you can answer the questions on the posts. And that's all we'll do for now. Now, I figured because we don't have any listener stories, what we could do is bring back a segment we were doing when we last had this podcast up before our long break and do the question of the week. And boy, do I have a great one. Ryan.
Ooh, blindsiding me with a question. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't prepare you at all. And it's a tough one, too, because you're going to have to think about it.
Okay.
So, Ryan, are you ready for this question?
I am ready for the question.
All right. Brought to us by randomwordgenerator.com.
Okay, weird.
If you had to walk away from one technology in your life, what would it be? That's a tough one, isn't it? I've been thinking about this all week since I randomly generated the question. And then blindsided you with it. So while you think about it, I can start with this.
Can I ask a question?
You're going to ask a question about the question?
Yes.
Okay.
If I say, wait, for only 1 week?
No, forever.
Oh, forever.
If you could live without, what is it? If you had to walk away from one technology in your life, what would it be?
Cell phones. I could go back to landlines. I want to keep the internet. But
sure.
I wouldn't mind walking away from cell phones.
Yeah, you know what? In my mind, that sounds great. I went with online shopping for my answer. And that, I'm not going to lie, was a toss-up between that and modern medicine. I was like, I'm healthy. I don't need major surgery. I'm good. I don't need modern medicine.
Until you get old.
I'll keep my online shopping. That is an interesting one, though, because it's like, if you really have to picture yourself, and the problem is, in this day and age, if you want to walk away from cell phones, it's almost impossible to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really have to try. I've gone through phases where Mike and I we're not doing cell phones anymore. And within 5 days, it's like, nope, get them back. Get them back. This is not working.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man. I wish technology would actually go backwards a few years in general for everyone, and then we'd be okay.
I wish that I did not have to have a cell phone.
Why don't you get rid of it? Walk away, Ryan. Do it. Walk away from the cell.
Do you know how many
phone.
unchecked notifications I have right now on my phone? Between voicemails and text messages, I just stopped checking.
Listen, I am surely not the first person to have this realization. Mm-hmm. It's a cell phone. A phone that is my cell.
Oh, my God.
I am prisoner.
Oh, my God,
to it.
Heather.
Wordplay. Wordplay is great.
That's hilarious.
Right. Well, anyway, that about wraps it up. If you've been listening to this podcast, do us a huge favor and share it. I know I ask this at the end of every episode, but seriously, just if you thought one particular episode was amusing or interesting, text that. Text a link to that to your friend. You can do it right from pretty much any podcast app you have. Should have a share option right in there. That would help us a lot. It gets the word out and gets us, more people into the audience to enjoy all of this great politics-free content. And last but not least, if you like the game Your Worst Nightmare, it is by Pressman, and you can go to pressmantoy.com and search Your Worst Nightmare, or you can go right to the show notes and click on the link that will take you straight to the product. And that's it. They're not a sponsor. I'll mention that. Not a sponsor. Ryan?
Yes. And
it's been great. Yes. Go ahead.
Until we play again.